Yo, I literally used all my self-modeling resin and this is what I got. It's okay though, we've got identical total rolls for each of the sets we're testing today, and for Rutilant, that extra roll went into speed, so it shouldn't matter. Let's get started. This is Glamoth with 150 speed. We're testing unbuffed basic, skill, and alt, followed by a buffed skill and alt. I felt like there was too much info if I did this side by side, so instead I'm going to cut through them quickly before explaining. One thing that I also want to show you is the difference between 150 and 160 speed, where 160 caps out Seele's light cone and Glamoth's damage buff. Okay, we're on Rutilant now, and we're going to do the exact same with Salsotto after. I did test this with various different supports and types of buffs and debuffs, but when I started piecing it together, it was just way too much for me to summarize. Because if you think about it, you have to consider Resurgence versus no Resurgence, 150 versus 160 speed, and the list goes on. Okay, we're about to go on to Salsotto here, and yeah, I'm only going to show you the results that I think are the most important, and they should give you exactly what you need to know. You know, I could rerun the animations, but you'd be sitting here for like 5+ minutes looking at the same thing. So I don't want to do that. I think I managed to condense like 5 minutes of footage into one, but yeah, let's go. So here's a summary of all our results at 150 versus 160 speed. You can definitely see something interesting going on here, but this view isn't great, so let's change it up. Real quick before that though, only 18.6% of you are subscribed, so I'd appreciate a lot if you liked the video and subbed. At 150 speed, you can see that Glamoth was never first in any of the tests, with Rutilant and Salsotto taking the wins for the ones they specialize in. Glamoth is always second place here, but Rutilant is still noticeably ahead on her skill, which is important to note since it makes up the majority of her overall damage. Salsotto isn't that far ahead on the alt, even compared to Rutilant, which also makes sense since unlike Rutilant's 20% damage bonus, it's 15. For 160 speed, all I did was throw in a 4-piece hackerspace buff for that extra 12% speed. The results do change a little bit, as you can see. The difference between Glamoth and Rutilant on her skill and basic went down to 5% from 8. Her alt is now ahead of Rutilant by 5% and even 1% on Salsotto for both unbuffed and buffed. Salsotto is a great relic set, but you can see it doesn't suit Seele as well as the other two. The important thing to note as well is that Glamoth benefits more from the 160 speed since it double dips into the relic set and her light cone. It's actually not that hard to achieve this, with all the speed buffs in the game like 4-piece hackerspace, Tingyun's E1, Asta, and more. However, you never want to go for 132 speed with substats, which is the amount you'd need to hit 160 after using a single skill. You'd just be sacrificing too much crit and attack. Even so, hitting 160 speed, you can see that Rutilant overall would still be better by the slightest margin. As we know, Seele's skill does make up most of her damage, so while best case Glamoth can overtake Rutilant on the alt by 5%, Rutilant being able to be at minimum 4 to 5% stronger than Glamoth on the skill is pretty substantial. Well, I say substantial, but overall they're so close that you should just use the set that has the best substats. I know you've heard that so many times, but the numbers here don't lie. Even 1 or 2 substat rolls would make the difference. Now, what I really want you to part with, especially because this is the new planar set, right now, it's only best in slot for our dot characters. I guess I'll do a separate comparison video for them too, but as far as efficiency goes, I'd farm Rutilant because not only is it heavily desired on many characters, Broken Keel is also a much better second set in the game currently. Again, this could change, but at least for Seele, Rutilant is better. If you can hit 160 speed though reliably, like with her E2 or certain dedicated supports, and you do have better rolls, Glamoth will win. I actually want to get this video out sooner, but you can see how my luck was. I got 7 quantum orbs, not a single crit roll on any. So much trailblaze power and relic remains, as well as all my self-modeling resin. I think because of how much I put in, I'm just going to run her on Glamoth. Qingqie has my Rutilant pieces anyway, and it's pretty close in power. Don't be like me, it was definitely not worth it, and I'm 100% coping right now. I don't even know what to say. I actually sped run through the event to get the rest of the self-modeling resin, just so I can make quantum orbs, and then I went for it, got nothing. The struggles, I swear. But in the end, I hope this video at least helps you figure out what you need to farm for. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I will see you next time.